पछि 말로 कुशल हामी लाइभ छौँ है त लाइभ भन्ने अब we are the fucking live come on त्यसपछि खेल्दैछु हेरौँ है त नयाँ कचिङ निकालौँ भने कहिले दिँदैन नयाँ अपडेट खेला छैन अप्ठ्यारो के सिकाउँछु भनेको थियो क्यारे आफैलाई धेरै भयो गेम फेरि वो 100 प्राइमो फ्रीमा okay unlock upon the completion of the research plan and floating population day it is 4 hours कतिवटा प्राइमोज एउटामा तिनलाई क्या not unlocked yet fishing rod for start कोही के त सकिँदैन यार मेरोले गर्दा
Now that we're alone, let me cut to the heart of the matter. You are skilled in manipulating the elements, and not just a single element, but multiple. Is that correct?
Paimon knew that you were hinting at something from the moment we met. You've known all along.
That's right. If the other contenders were to catch wind of your elemental abilities, let's just say it would cause some unwanted misunderstandings. If I'm not mistaken, you share these considerations, given your reluctance to use elemental skills even in the heat of a match. When I talk about that which I see or hear in you, this is not poetic symbolism at play. I mean these things in the truest sense possible. Since a young age, I have been attuned to the tidings of nature. I hear the breath of the wind and the whispers of the leaves. It is things of this nature that I also hear from within you. Nothing more.
As crazy as all that sounds, somehow Paimon still believes you.
My humble abilities are negligible compared to your incredible feats. To think a human could wield the elements without a vision. And not to mention your incredibly complex scent, like that of some mysterious being.
Hey, stop evaluating us based on our smell! It's weird!
Could you perchance enlighten me as to how you managed to obtain your combined elemental abilities? Extraordinary. So then, might I be so bold as to inquire how exactly it is that you learn? Perhaps such however, I still wish to have the honor of... Of course, I too shall share with you all that... Now then.
Okay.
Windblade!
One with my blade!
Odds reveal thyself!
Overdose.
I summon thee!
यस्तो नै हान्न थालेको
Forth, my blade!
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Salam.
Help!
genshin impact खेल्नको नि
Your skills in battle are truly beyond reproach. Your opponent is skilled at controlling his breathing and maintaining balance, which enables him to execute moves that many would find impossible. He relies entirely on the element of surprise to defeat his opponents. In other words, as long as you remain mindful of his ability to detect weak points, then his attacks should pose no threat to you. Please, save your thanks. If anything, I should be thanking you for the opportunity to witness your command of the elements that defies all The world is a truly mysterious place, it seems.
You seem kind of obsessed with visions, but don't you already have your own? Why are you so intent on exploring the connection between...
I desire to know what meaning visions have and what influences the gods' decision to grant my apologies. You must be for allowing me the honor of witnessing your mystical ways. I am willing to answer any questions you may... So that's what you're curious about? Then allow... As you well know, a vision hunt decree is currently underway in Inazuma. Visions are a gift bestowed by the divine. People that have accepted this gift are now having their visions confiscated inexplicably. Sometimes in circumstances that leave their in the outset. Supposing each of the 7 archons had their criteria for granting visions to living beings, then does the current Electro-Archon now doubt these criteria? Not to mention, with no new Electro-visions having been granted for such a long time, it would seem that we can infer something of the Raiden Shogun's feelings on the
She sounds less like an Archon and more like...
As far as I know, she is an Archon that pursues eternity. She will relentlessly carry out her will with no regard to what others may think or feel. Liyue's contracts are meant to benefit all who reside within Liyue. But what does Inazuma's pursuit of eternity bring to its people? It goes without saying that the people locked within Inazuma do not fare well these days.
Sounds a lot like something the god you encountered in the beginning would do.
Oh? Have you encountered the Electro-Archon before? With time, we will change. If you wish to find her, she will forever be there. There will come a day when I too shall wish to understand. The time for your match is approaching.
Oh, right! We got so distracted talking about Inazuma that Paimon
If you have no other matters to attend to, then we can return together. Very well. Let's go.
Okay, easy peasy kilani talai. Let's go. Try to fight
Why isn't he here yet?
it's gonna
Never mind. We can start by making your entrance first. Everyone, listen up! We've reached the climax. We've seen many exciting battles. Now, I'd like to introduce. She strikes fear into the heart of Osai. Wow! I've been waiting. I'm sure everyone witnessed her thrilling. But today's final round will show. As for our other combatant, come on, what could be taking him so long? Apologies. Everyone, just sit tight. We've got no other choice. If he doesn't show up, we'll just have to...
Wait a moment. Something to... Captain Beto, perhaps we should check on the traveler. Come with us.
Let me see. It's gone all right.
Huh? Did somebody steal it?
We don't know when it was taken. I never thought that someone...
No need to worry. Even the craftiest sleight of hand... The culprit has only... The vision was the prize that I had offered, and it was my responsibility to look after it.
Well, if you insist. I'll stay here and try to offer some explanation to all this...
If you would, please come with me.
But we're on an island. Where could...
Come with me. I can sense the...
Oh, I think things are coming.
Huh? A wind current?
The winds have come at an opportune moment. Let's seize this chance. Ride the winds upward. From there we can continue our search for clues.
Yes.
By the way, what made you suddenly think of checking the prize in the first place?
La
I heard
lamb
it the moment it was stolen.
Well, then why didn't you stop him?
You'll see shortly.
By royal decree. Oz, reveal thyself. I summon thee. Nice and spicy.
Haha, you're dead.
The winds are guiding us forward. The culprit is on the opposite shore now.
You can hear that too? What does it sound like?
Your ass,
Hubris.
Pandari.
This way. Follow me.
La.
There may be an ambush waiting for us up ahead, but I trust that you are well prepared for such a scenario.
Wall passerin Zara Babu, Valeribena. La, seriously, timer ka? What the fuck?
The winds are guiding us forward. The culprit is on the opposite shore now.
You can hear that too? What does it sound like?
Hubris. This way. Follow me. There may be an ambush waiting for us up ahead, but I trust that you are well prepared for such a scenario.
Hoarders, they're here! Get them!
Treasure hoarders, just as I expected. In which case, please stand back.
Be gone!
Okay, the lawn. It's happening.
Freeze! A touch of frost! Freeze!
Windblade!
La.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Where am I to go now? मार्केट है ना? Okay, all time them like
You caught up with me? How is that possible? I had even
Because
prepared a
you're
boat to
afraid.
ensure quick getaway, and still...
No boat could ever match the speed of the wind.
The wind? What are you talking about? Drat! If I only had a vision. Or if I could activate...
This has nothing to do with visions. You may be skilled at vanishing from a crowd, but it seems you know precious little about how to conceal yourself. Additionally, your chosen escape route was flawed for reasons that are too numerous to go into. And on top of that, I could hear your boasting and proud laughter in the wind. In other words, you failed to meet any of the basic criteria for a grand heist.
You...
But most disappointing of all is the state of the vision. It appears that the vision doesn't respond to human desire.
Fine! Fine! I've had my eyes on this vision for quite some time now. I decided to register after hearing that this fighting contest was full of a bunch of lousy fighters.
Aha! So you were supposed to be—
I'd intended to win the contest through skill alone all along. After watching the semifinals, I knew that I didn't stand a chance. But since there was no use in trying to face you in the match, I decided to put my skills to good use while everyone's attention. I was convinced I prepared thoroughly for my escape, but somehow you still managed to catch up to me. After all I went through to get it? I think not. I know an empty threat when I hear one. Fine. But you'd better mean it. It didn't activate once I took it anyway. It's nothing but a useless shell to me.
You know, according to the laws of the sea, the penalty for stealing is breaking.
Huh? You're not serious.
Not to mention that the item you stole was a prize. You didn't show up for the final match, and you damaged the reputation of the cap. It seems that it would be only fair to brand the word thief on your forehead.
Whoa, whoa! We don't need to go that far.
I never would have guessed you could be so cruel. If this is
Betul.
where talking gets me, then forget it.
Tata
I'll
dari
risk a
lantu
fight.
tata.
Yeah. Swift and merciful.
Laagtunya, ay, ay, ay. आठ से भी करेगी बराबर.
A touch of frost.
ताई आठ से खार मारा है ताई. Sorry. Luck.
Just a temporary setback.
No, no. Do what you want, but please.
He has persevered to the bitter end, and now death looms. Put down the vision and leave.
Huh?
What's wrong? Are you asking? It's up to you. Such willingness is...
No, no need for that. Thank you for...
Huh? Paimon doesn't get it.
I take no pleasure in frightening others. I was just testing when people are forced into a corner. That is when their greatest strength will appear. I thought, but unfortunately, nothing happened. Yes. I wanted to know whether it were possible for an extinct... From the moment he stole the vision, I decided to use him. I've tried many other methods in the past, though few tales tell of a masterless vision. After seeing you command multiple elements, I figured, come, why don't you give it a try? Let's see if you can give me the answer I'm hoping.
The vision...
I see. So you... No matter. This was expected. I suppose this vision is still mine to take for now.
Yeah, what's the story behind this?
The story begins with an old friend.
La, story time la.
He was once a good friend of mine. One day he asked me about a sword art of which he had heard, the Musono Hitotachi. I told him it can only be witnessed when divine punishment is administered. It is the pinnacle of the Raiden Shogun's skill, a symbol of ultimate power. But he replied, there must be one who can withstand it. There will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow. Then, the Vision Hunt decree arrived. People's aspirations were stripped away as the Raiden Shogun began to construct her ideal of eternity. While I was fleeing from place to place, I heard that my friend had challenged the Vision Hunters to a duel before the throne. A solemn yet brutal challenge. The defeated face divine punishment, while the victors gain a second chance. Perhaps he thought he of all people should make a stand. Coming face to face with the Musono Hitotachi was all that he truly desired, after all. When I arrived at Tenshukaku, the duel was over. I heard his sentence of divine punishment, his severed blade hitting the ground. Perhaps that was the glory he had yearned to witness. In his last moments, what expression was on his face? Before I knew it, I had stepped forward and snatched the dying vision and was running from the scene. All I knew was that I mustn't let his hope, which burned so brightly, become buried among the ice-cold statue of a god. Perhaps one day I may come to find that all I have done is meaningless.
Okay, I am back. Ayah.
But as a wandering samurai, I find meaning in traveling and the sprawling beauty of nature that lies along the way, while still retaining the warrior way in my heart.
Kazuha.
It's just another way of saying I do as I please.
Kazuha.
All right then, it's time we returned.
Go vandam nata.
Allow me to gather the wind for us once more.
Huh? Did Beto leave already? Maybe she went back to her ship.
If you're looking for the captain, she was summoned by Lady Ningguang. It seems that the Crux clash got out of hand this time and has attracted her attention. Captain Beto was muttering something about Ningguang being a stick in the mud as she headed off to Liyue Harbor.
It's not unusual for those two to be at odds with one another.
But still, Captain Beto was disappointed she didn't get to witness the crowning of the new champion. She had been looking forward to it for quite some time.
The one who stole the vision was originally to be this hero's opponent in the final round. He knew he stood no chance of winning the match, thus the wicked idea of stealing the prize took hold in his mind. In which case, the Crux clash comes to a clear-cut conclusion.
Huh? So that's what happened? If that's the case, then the rules stipulate that he is disqualified, and our hero here is the champion.
Paimon thought we'd win and all, but not like this.
It doesn't matter. As the saying goes, honor given is honor deserved. Now, let me go prepare the champion's medal to award you.
Yes, I believe so.
Pati lamo
Though
ke
Captain Beto
kehana
is no longer
bhaikan
present here, I'll be
lago.
sure she receives word, but the voyage to Inazuma is a treacherous one.
Sida Inazuma ma
You will be
teleport
plagued by a
annane.
perpetual tempest the entire trip. In fact, the relentless rain and wind are also an embodiment of the Raiden Shogun's will to close the nation.
Hold on a second. You're saying she can change the weather just with the power of her mind?
Let us not forget that this is one of the 7 Archons. If Liyue's Morax could form Guyun's stone forest by casting down his stone spears, then it should come as no great surprise that the Raiden Shogun is capable of summoning an eternal tempest. Suffice it to say that if you wish to journey to Inazuma, the Alcor will need some time. You will be notified once all the preparations have been made. In the meantime, I intend to embark on a journey of my own. I will travel all across the vast lands of Liyue in the hope of finding a way to reawaken the vision.
Okay, good luck,
Paimon
brother.
believes you'll find a way for sure.
Thank you. May both our journeys prove meaningful. One final word of warning.
Thanks, bro.
The part of your journey that lies after the storm may well prove to be the most arduous.
Okay. Let's see how we can go. Story को लाइफ आर क्या आएगा ना? Hinani. I think yeah, that main story line.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. What can I do for you, traveler?
About
Ah,
traveling
yes.
to
I've
Inazuma.
heard that you've already made arrangements with the captain of the Crux fleet regarding your passage to Inazuma. Is that now that I think about it, it's been quite some time since I last visited those lands. Unfortunately, I don't have any current intel that would be.
There you
Okay.
are. You're the traveler that Beto will be taking to Inazuma,
Yes,
right?
yes. I've been waiting for all
Oh, is
this
that
for you.
right?
Okay,
Well, it's
okay.
an honor to meet you.
Yes, same goes.
The fleet has nearly completed reprovisioning. Once the crews have taken a head count, we can get underway. Captain Beto sent me to come get you. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're aboard.
Seems Beto is the captain of her word.
Of course! There are many things that the captain insists upon. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you're on board.
So you'll be heading off then? I
Yes.
suppose whether the journey before you leads to the heights of the heavens or the
Heights
depths
of
of
the
the
heavens में
abyss,
lead गर्नुपर्छ.
each step you take is another achievement. Until
Okay.
we meet again, Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Thank you,
Aw,
Catherine.
It's kind of hard to say goodbye now. We
Well,
Anyhow,
if that's how you feel, why not come and find me when you arrive? I'll be awaiting you on Narukami Island.
So
okay.
there's another Catherine in Inazuma? See? There's no need to get all sappy now.
Well, I guess it's time for you to bid farewell to
Okay,
Liyue
okay, यो
Harbor.
चाहिँ के हो
Now that
गडले
I've delivered my
रेप्लिकेट गरे
message, I'll be heading back.
हुन्छ नि.
The ship is currently anchored off of
Simulation
Billion
अच्छा.
Stone Forest.
Okay.
Thanks for coming all this.
Just following orders. I'll see you.
Okay, back. मर्दार लिएर नजाने भए. Where am I to go now? फेरि चाहिँ उड्न पर्छ. But through घुमेर जानुपर्छ. So boring. What the fuck? Mario हुन्छ कि हाम्रो साँच्चै हो? 750 मरा. Let's get to the top. यसले पुग्छ होला. एङ्करै उठाइसकेको रहेछ. कुशाल प्यालेन्ट खेल्नु भयो भने के हेरेर ए अनि अर्को के भयो अरे त अनि के अरे गिभ अवे.
Ah, you finally made it. All these years, come rain or storm, the Crux fleet has never suffered a delay. If it were anyone else, I might have set sail already. Don't look too serious, I'm only joking. You're just on time. The crew have just... Well, now that we set sail for the land engulfed by storm and tempest.
Anchors away!
Okay, see the end of the journey log. Cutscene nice. Fucking piece of pie. Oh. Alone.
Ahoy there. So, you finally made it. You sure kept me waiting, Captain. And it appears we have a couple of stowaways. Or perhaps I should say, honored guests.
Shush!
You can blame your almighty shogun. The tempests around Inazuma have been growing all the more fierce. Though the fleet was fully up to the challenge, the inclement weather still caused some delay. Now then, let me introduce everyone. This is Toma, a trade partner that I've gotten to...
You don't know how long I've been waiting to see you.
Toma, these two are...
Oh, no need for introductions. Their reputation precedes them. It seems even the stormy seas can't keep rumors of these outlanders' sterling deeds at bay.
Nice to meet you, Toma.
Oh, it's sure nice to hear you say that.
With any luck, it'll give you a head start here. Toma's resided on Rito for quite some time now. It wouldn't be going too far to say he's the fixer around. If you run into any problems here, just talk to Toma. But if he tries to pull any moves on you, I'll be sure to deal with him personally.
No need to worry. I'm sure we'll get along just
good. Then if it's all settled, I'll be going. I wouldn't want to be caught with my sails down here. I do have a wanted fugitive.
Oh, right.
Until next time, traveler. Remember to give it your all, no matter what perilous storms you may encounter.
Fair seas, Captain Beto.
얘네요. kunsa casual hotni kurwara talle. Sexy photo उधर था. तल scroll करता था.
Now then, first things first. We need to go get you...
Paimon thought we were supposed to be keeping things on the down low. Are we?
Don't underestimate the reaches of the Sakoku Decree. You wouldn't be able to avoid inspection, so we have to play by the rules, even if we're kind of bending them.
Yeah. Catherine ये और क्या?
Hello. Please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit. You must be new here. Excuse me? Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying with you.
Find my brother की trade one number.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. We cannot approve entry for purely personal reasons. So, unless you have a valid reason for visiting in a my apologies, but I'll have to ask you...
Here are their entry papers. For your kind...
What? Take your time.
I just wanted to see what you'd say.
I see. Okay. Your papers are all in order.
The Outlander Affairs Agency. They only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through with them.
Yes.
So it
Impact
is super strict.
Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people from everywhere else are referred to as the word suggests. Outlanders aren't very welcome in Inazuma with the Sakoku Decree in force. Not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement. I like how you think. I've got a feeling we're going to get along. Now, let's head over to the Outlander Affair.
Gacha game.
Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of Rito, the Kanjo Commission.
The Kanjo Commission?
Yes, one branch of the Tri-Commission of Inazuma, responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth. You really haven't heard of it before?
Very life. Technical needed so.
you've completed the entry procedures, yes? And now you want to apply for residency?
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be 2 million mora.
What the fuck?
2 million? For a processing fee?
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which makes 2 million total. Don't worry, you can...
Paimon wasn't so much questioning your math as...
Ma'am, these two here are good friends of mine. I think you'll find I'm one face you recognize.
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to 400,000 mora total.
Thank you ever so much, Miss Eureka. But as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 mora should cover it if I'm paying on their behalf. I'll treat you to dinner too. How does that sound?
That's not how you haggle! By all means, bargain the price!
Alright then, as you wish, Mr. Toma.
Much obliged.
The 2 million moral I tirake.
What? She went from 2 million down to 600? There's something seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around here.
It's not as mind-boggling as you think. A processing fee is just a figure of speech. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money. So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense...
Then they'll milk them for all they're worth.
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy. Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this close nation era, there's very little that can be done. The most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is stick. That's how the International Trade Association...
So it's a trade association built by...
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests. The association provides help, support, and structure for... Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Sounds like just staying alive is an achievement when you're...
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. Yes, given, after all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of Inazuma. She is a deity who reigns on high, while all other life gazes up in awe. Huh. I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you'll encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the Raiden Shogun one day? Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know of a way to introduce...
Really?
Yes, finally.
Wow, the Rito Fixer's better can...
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it can be done. Connections come at a high price. No. In this instance, in fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that if this is something you really want, you'll have to agree to help other people solve some of their problems. I like to do things in a way that keeps everybody happy. It's my own personal...
Sounds very reasonable to Paimon.
Get to the point.
You're the man in the middle, so you have to...
Why do I get the feeling you're making me out to be some sort of crook? Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members of the International Trade Association are constantly struggling to survive. Recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult than ever for them, so just go and check things out. See if there's any... The head of the association is called Karisu, and he's a good friend of mine. Go talk to him.
Okay. What is that, by the way? Okay. Throw more cutscene. Color with one there. Did I understand its members?
Huh? Hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the International Trade Association. The Outlander Affairs Agency took you for all you're worth, I suppose. Good. That's a relief. You need to be...
We heard the association has been having some difficulties lately.
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles at every turn.
The Sakoku decree certainly makes things difficult for anyone who wants to...
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku decree might restrict our scope of activity. But in and of itself, it doesn't stop us from being able to enjoy... No. What's really squeezing us out, those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
Oh, of the 3 commissions, that's the one...
That's right. They impose astronomical tax rate, unbelievable They just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason, completely changes the way we pay our tax.
Crystal marrow.
Something that most of us in the association had never heard of before either, until the new... Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled that he once shipped a batch of it to Snej. So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an arduous search for... But then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. The rising demand. Now there's only one vendor who even has it in stock. We can't get a hold of it.
Isn't there...
Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no choice but to buy from them because the tax... It's a vicious cycle. The consequence of which is that our taxes will soon exceed our profits. And once that happens... We've tried but this is a nation where the cries of a few struggling merchants will never be heard over the... Fontaine, my dear homeland.
Sounds awful. What do you think we should do?
That vendor. I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a point he stopped contacting us.
Well, it definitely sounds like he's being unfair.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. Since you're not affiliated with the association, and you're new to... If I remember correctly, our usual meeting point with him is under a tree by the coast in the residential district.
Got it! We're on
the... La. त्यो भन्दा नि अगाडि ए राइटमा रहेछ ए मास्तिर होला हैन थर्ड स्टैमिना नसक्ति ये तो उसको ऊपर रख सकता वन सीधे कहाँ था आया हुआ माथला Taya. Ramta kati ko expansion रहेछ के हो यहाँ त फेरि Okay, anyways The fuck is that deal? क्या नास्ता रहेछ यार क्यासले रहेछ त्यहाँ त जानुपर्छ बिस्तारै Tassin aí. जाँदैन रहेछ कति रमाइलो Lah.
Huh? I don't think I recognize you. Are you new arrivals? So, what do you need with me? The sheer nerve. You don't go around asking questions like that. If I gave you my sources, I might as well hand you the whole darn business. Trade secret. Got it? You know what trade and secret mean?
This guy's got a bad attitude.
Ha! Are you even buying? Oh, I see what's going on here. They're wasting their time. The price is non-negotiable. Not by a single mora.
Hey, what's your problem?
Etsinä sword company
Get out of
rahneella
here, go
takia
on.
lienpyrä.
Tell them they're lucky to be buying from me in the first place. And they ought to be more grateful. If it weren't for me, they'd be in serious...
What are we gonna do? There's no talking to this guy. Good idea. Let's check back in.
Okay. आज धेरै कटसिन देखाउनु पर्छ. नदेखाउनु.
That was quick.
Actually, we're having a little trouble.
Oh? Well, by all means, tell me what you need. I'll help as getting you to go fixing things when you've only just arrived is quite a demand. Oh, that guy? I'm familiar. He used to be a bit of a sorry sight, selling shells that he collect on the beach just to get by. But he seems to have suddenly shot up. I can only assume he must have found himself a patron after leaving the International Trade Association.
Huh. You're saying he used to be a member of the Internet?
Yes. Couldn't you tell when you spoke to him? That's right. Werner was born in Mondstadt, then went into the shipping business, trading between Leah and Inazuma. When Inazuma closed to the outside world, he was one of a group of outlanders that ended up
What a bummer.
The International Trade Association was initially very generous to him, but over time, with decree after decree, the association members found it increasingly difficult to make ends meet.
So he left the association and...
I'm sure it's more nuanced than that. I believe even the most ungrateful and cold-hearted of people still have some amount of gratitude and warmth left in them somewhere.
Really? Is that all you...
Well then, it sounds like you may have found a way in with him.
Okay, के गर्छ थाहा छैन तर let's go bitch. Going down. Going down now. Whoa.
What are you doing back here? Just because I got plenty of time on my hands doesn't mean I want to waste any of it talking to you. Huh? Where's this coming from? Mondstadt? You were talking...
Yeah, the very... The fuck is that? Yota? Dandelion, के रे? Cancel. So when I go from Mondstadt, shit. Really, any question?
Mondstadt? Goodness, I can sense it now. So
Yes.
familiar, but I can't remember the last time I... The scent of Mondstadt. Oh, how it takes me back. Oh, my
Okay.
hometown. The home of freedom. So, trying to play my heartstrings like a liar, are you? I know what you're up. Huh? What is this?
Just close your eyes already.
You mean the sound of the ocean? Leah Harbor. I can see it so clearly. Oh, and the sound of the waves. The calls of the merchants. Xiao lanterns. I'm right there at the lantern right.
This guy has a really active imagination. Either
didn't also flower them at the place again. What are you them?
Wait. Stop. That's enough. Don't make me relive it anymore. My poor heart can't take it. You mean the folks from the International Trade Association? Often, I'll sneak down to the shore at night and listen to the sound of the waves. I've run into folks from the association more than a few times doing... Don't you think I've wanted to talk things through with...
well, no one...
They're so resilient. None of them had anyone else to rely on, so they rallied to... So, I caved. Those people, they'd make the smallest of promises, offer the most measly benefits, and I'd do whatever they asked of me. And make Mondstadters look like the worst people in the world. All right. I'll tell you the whole story. It's eating me up inside.
You ready to talk now?
But I betrayed them. I can't...
Come on, you scaredy cat. Look, you messed up, so come on, get it off your chest.
It's a scheme by the tax collection Ashigaru. They start by overtaxing the merchants, then take the extra crystal marrow they receive and stockpile it. Once the merchants run out of places to buy crystal marrow, they get me to sell that extra stock back to the merchants at an extortionate price, with the proceeds going to the tax collection Ashigaru.
It's plain evil gouging the...
I'm their puppet, yes. But my cut is a tiny fraction of what we take in total. It's barely enough for me to... Evidence? You're right. Now that I think about it, whenever I report back to him after a sale, he always heads to the same place. It's always made... As it happens, I handed some Mora over to him not long ago. I can show you where he...
Really? Well, then there's no time to lose. Let's...
Vital, salam alaikum. Wish करना try करूँ ना तो आना सोरे से नहीं करना आज तक को दिल्ली कमीशन नहीं करने में सुनाल ले this is it. Hazla.